Yeah, I gotta wash my hands. Sorry, everybody. I got a rash. Listen here, you son of a bitch. What do you know about the government?
This character was requested by Andre Branch. Thanks for extending a branch to me. Among Rare's neglected franchises, I'd say the one that I've always held the softest spot for would be their admittedly blatant attempt to cash in on the Ninja Turtles craze, the Battletoads. Maybe it's because I like frogs, just pretty neat, or it's just really funny and very edgy 90s aesthetic they got going. But I always really wanted the Battletoads to continue and get more than they got. Honestly, the same could be said for a lot of Rare. Someday we'll get a new Banjo. I hope. In this instance, though, the franchise did get a bit of a reboot, and it received a mixed reception. Just looking at it, I can see why. Again, that early 90s edge aesthetic just isn't really there. But at the time of writing this, I actually have not played it at all. So I'm going to insert a clip of how I feel after I actually do play it here. So this is supposed to be like this funny cutaway gag or whatever, but it's a weird game, all things considered. Not really sure why they went in this direction, but I can say it's got some solid gameplay and some genuinely funny lines, along with really good animation at times. The problem comes from the really, oh, I'm modern, I'm so self-aware, this MRT, oh, my writing's so good. That's just so common nowadays. Why, yes, modern California writer, your parody and symbolism are so subtle and smart that you're totally breaking the mold that's already broken. It's not bad. Look, the queen looks like ass. Her hands are bigger than the toads. Why has she got no crown? I don't... Dang it! It's not bad, but just... I don't know. Good job, future me. That was really insightful and interesting, I hope. I'll also mention here that the request specifically was for Rash, the bona fide leader of the aforementioned war amphibians, and was the rep chosen for Killer Instinct. Yeah. Initially, I thought I would do all the Toads together as one character. But thinking about it again, I think just settling on Rash is a good choice. Partially because Pimple and Zit, look, it was a different era, have rather different designs, different proportions and all that. But I also believe it honestly simplifies it. Though we will be using some of the moves from those characters to help diversify his portfolio. So yeah, let me just pop this into my Wii and then we can get this going Toad style. Their general feel would be a pretty normal speed, a bit slower, but super high jump arcs that feel kind of heavy. Beat 'em ups are known for their rather stoic takes on stuff. What the hell did I write there? I think what I meant to write was that they don't really move very fast and have kind of grounded combat, but they're frogs, so they jump good. They're almost like the fighting game characters, where they have tons of really strong close-quartered stuff, but aren't really the fastest thing in the world. Jumping ahead a little bit, we're actually going to skip into our special mechanic along with our first move, the jab. As it works a bit different. Like how Terry and Ryu can cancel their jabs into special moves, the Toads can cancel them into smash attacks. Now that sounds pretty ridiculous, but they confiscate on 2 accords. 1, the smash attack is a bit weaker than usual, and 2, the Toads are made of glass. They're frail bits of combo food that even have some extended lag if you miss a tech. Basically, they punish you hard if you make the slightest mistake, because this franchise is associated with masochism. Ow, ooh, ooh. Oh, do more, Daddy. Don't use that one. Oh yeah, mommy, more. Don't use that one either. God. So what will their jab be? Well, it'll be a basic 1-2 punch that they usually use in their moves. It doesn't really matter what else, because they're always going to cancel it into a smash attack anyway. Just ask Terry.
Power dunk!
And once again, we'll skip forward to our smash attacks. The side smash will be the
Boot to the head.
This one's a no-brainer. It's the classic finisher in his combo and persists through it all. The big cartoony just punt. Up smash. Touchdown. Turning into a football helmet and headbutting. For those non-Americans, that's the big helmet that gives you brain damage. And down smash. The stone arm hammer thingies. They're pretty simple. He slams his hand down with both of his hands turning into stone hammer form. Whatever they call these. All smash attacks are pretty short range, so you'll be hitting them raw often, but they're good for the comboing. Additionally, why you would pick between them, I would assume the up smash would launch upwards, the forward smash would launch more forward, but at kind of an upward angle, and the down smash would launch at a downward angle. So it's a bit more thought than just whichever one does the most damage. It's different kill options as well. Going into some of their more basic moves, we got the down tilt. Stomping with his foot as an anvil. Kind of a weird one, like an overhead down tilt, but give him that weight I was talking about. Up tilt, his little axe kick that he does. A lot of his moves will be his legs, because they're frogs. Toad, shut up. Whatever, they got mad hops. F tilt, big fist, like the reboot. Though hopefully not the grossly detailed, disgusting, ugh. Maybe they did know what they were doing. And their dash attack, ram horns. This is one of his main moves in Killer Instinct because I'm bad at it and it's just the first thing that I use every time. It's a really good one. Great cartoony effect. Would probably be the strongest dash attack of the game. Pretty central to the whole thing. Maybe even have some armor on it to help him get through stuff. Moving on to aerials, the neutral air will be a flurry of kick moves, kind of like Greninja. But he does this kind of thing in the game mode. Forward air, axe kick. Now like an axe kick, like an axe kick. Like an actual kick. But with an axe. Want to axe any questions? Back air, buzzsaw. Turning his leg into a buzzsaw, it hits multiple times, like coring. And down air, the jackhammer, the multi-kick moves from the reboot. Debate if it should have a spike, considering it'd be really fast, but it's a good, safe down air regardless. And up air, the air turbine head. Points down, but it sends you like up a little bit, kind of like King K rules, so it'd be a little extra boost. Moving on to the all-important specials, neutral B will be the tongue rush. This will launch the tongue forward and either allow you to pull yourself to them or them to you. Probably if you hold it or not. This would again be kind of a spacing tool and a really just classic thing. We'll use the tongue more for something later, but as of right now, this is going to be the main thing. Is a toad. Up B, the helipad. Holding on to the little helipad thingy that they use in the arcade mode propels them upwards, similar to King K. Rool, but faster, though if you get hit it explodes and just start. Kind of like Villager's Balloon. Side B, the speed bike. Speed bike is probably the most infamous part of the original Battletoads, and for good reason. The move is just Wario's bike. Pretty much the same thing, but way faster, and if you crash into something, Rash gets flung forward. This could be kind of a unique recovery, like you purposely crash into a projectile and then you launch yourself straight forward. It's kind of goofy and that fits with the cartoony theme of it. Maybe he'll even like slam into a wall and stuff. It'd be fun. Downbeat, the huge weight. The descending level is an equally stressful level, and this dang thing is a huge part of it. Hitting down B will launch them downwards just like Kirby, but unlike Kirby, you can kind of swing to the side, bonk into walls. This is another part of his weird mix-up movement type thing. But it plays really well, because he's like a cartoon character, so he's got a bunch of weird physics to him. And lastly, his tongue will also be used for his grab, as a tether recovery. Ironically, both his neutral B and grab are just like Yoshi in that regard, but they're a little different, obviously. Also, his down throw will be that one where he just beats you with a rock, because that move is freaky. And I imagine most of his other ones would be similar to the other grab-type moves from Battletoads Arcade, because that's the best one. As for his taunts, I imagine they could do a lot of really fun things here. Maybe do something, I want them to do something where they play the pause theme. He does a little dance or something. Because that's classic Battle. Another one could be his pelvic thrusting, if they can get that past Sero or the ESRB or Peggy or whoever else is saying things are bad. And potentially putting on sunglasses. He probably would already be wearing sunglasses, but let's just say he puts on more, because that's better. And Rash was kind of characterized like that in the reboot. His stage would likely be a retro recreation of the first level, or at the very least in this sort of rocky plains area. Alternatively, it could be on the Dark Queen's airship space tower thing. Honestly, either one work, but those are the two most iconic locations, and I think the level 1 is the best, so we're going with that. Or it could be the speed bike track and then kind of fly by like F-Zero. There's actually a lot of stage possibilities for this one. I'm surprised. Final smash. The other brothers... Oh, I'm sorry, they don't talk about that. I'll jump in and get on the action, punching and bashing their way through and blowing stuff up in a big epic spaceship. Kind of like how a lot of these recent Final Smashes have been, where it's just a bunch of everybody shows up and does a big move. His victory screens would be fun. He'd probably have the same one as Killer Instinct. We go, these cameos are killing me. All the bros partying together, maybe eating pizza or something, and jumping off the screen, just like at the end of Arcade. So spirits. I'm gonna be honest. This one's hard. Battletoads doesn't exactly have a wide variety of particularly classic characters. I'm sure they'd be able to do something. Likely we'd have Pimple and Zitz using their existing... Likely Pimple and Zitz would be spirits and they'd be Rash, but he's using an alternate color. There's Jeff from the reboot. I'm not really sure what he would be. Maybe Mewtwo that has increased psychic powers? I don't know. There's Oath, who's technically playable, which is a weird one. Maybe he'd be a tiny Yoshi or something? Sonic? I don't know. Realistically, the rest would probably be bosses from the arcade version. You know the drill. Well, I suppose the Topians could work. They're from the recent game as well. And probably the last one would be, of course, the Dark Queen. They'd probably use the modern design, despite the fact that it looks bad. But that would more than likely be the dark skin of Zelda with big powered up special moves. And that's the Battletoads. Or at least Rash specifically. I don't know what will happen with this franchise, honestly. I can't really find any information on if that reboot was successful, but I don't know. I could see it still going. Polish some things up, maybe fix what didn't work so well. You can hope, at least. Will these characters ever get in Smash? Probably not. Rare's got a decent bit more that I think is a bit higher priority. They're cool. They're a great thing to speculate about. And, heck, I'd like them. I'd play as them. Maybe it would just actually bring us back to a simpler time when you want to make a new franchise. You just looked outside and you just saw, like, there's an animal. Put sunglasses on him. That's cool. That's great. And people would just play it and would enjoy it. Because it was just whatever you wanted. It didn't have to be this crazy, awe-inspiring open world throughout 50 billion characters and stuff. It was just, there's 3 toads, and they beat up an evil lady with big boobies. That's it. That's all you need. And it was such a nice time because they could just have fun. And God damn it, I want to go back. I want to go back to when sunglasses could be on frogs and they weren't gay. Don't end it on that. Tell people that to be hopeful and enjoy video games. Brush your teeth, everybody.
Dude, that's totally tubular.